Good night. How everyone doing tonight? God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma Jess Bridges Divine. I'm here to give you a little short news on today. Um, First, I'm gonna start with the minimum wage. The last time I talked about minimum wage was June the 21st. So I see in three states that have boosted up the minimum wage uh, at different at different prices. So that's good to look it into the minimum wage because the minimum wage right now in certain states is 7.25, and it's been like that since 2009. So that really do need to change. So the living these days, the living cost is raised so high. So the 7.25 minimum wage have to change. So on June the 21st, I had boosted up the minimum wage request for it to be 11.25. So I request for the minimum wage to be 11.25. For the rest of the states that hasn't boosted up the minimum wage, so if other states are still at 7.25, please I request to change the rate to 11.25. So please look into that. And for the rest of the states that didn't change their minimum wage, 7.25 is just too low. The living cost is just too expensive these days. So that's why the economy went down with the shopping part because so many people struggling trying to pay their bills. So I request that the minimum wage and other states who haven't raised up the minimum wage, I think 11.25 on up should be a reasonable price. Even if you have fast foods, it had to boost up to 11.25. So that's the news on the minimum wage. Three states already had boost up the minimum wage, and I think that's good. So we're gonna talk about the traffic lights in New Orleans. The traffic lights. I mean, I've been noticing that for a couple of days now. That traffic lights is like not working properly. It's like blinking. So I noticed it for a while. So traffic lights blinking. Need repairs. So all state contractor had been formally contracted by the city to do the traffic lights. But they're in the mix of the contract. So that has to been that was like a year ago. So and having anyone to do the repairs due to some contractor delay. You know, according to city officers, I hope they can come to some kind of common grounds with the contractors to get the lights um, repaired to be working properly. Because we don't want incidents to start happening. Due to the lights. Because most of recent I saw like dozen of lights is not working. I'm like, what is going on? So we don't want an incident to occur. So I hope they come to some kind of common grounds with the contractor to try to get the lights repaired. Okay, that's traffic lights. So it's pretty much like every day we talking about the airlines. You know, the travelers at the airline, it's overflow. It's overflowing. They came up with that rebooking gonna be no charge free. I mean, it's the airport is just overflowing with people. Due to the 4th of July weekend. Everyone trying to get here and there. And then you have the Essence down here in New Orleans. So the airport is overflowing right now. So we talked about the minimum wage. I talked about the minimum wage on June the 21st, and I'll raise it to 11.25. So I see that three other states had boost up their minimum wage. It go by the cost of living in your state. So they had boost theirs up way more than 11.25 an hour. But the minimum wage It's 725, and it's been like that since 2009. So that really have to change because the living cost is too expensive for the minimum wage of 725. Even if they're working at a fast food, 725 is not enough. You know, even at fast food, it should be 11.25. You know, so that's the minimum wage. And we also just talk about the traffic lights. You know, we see, we notice. I noticed the traffic lights is blinking. You know, it's not working properly. You know, so we need the traffic lights to be fixed. You know, because we don't want an incident occur. You know, because got some people be impatient to wait till the next car go. You know, and it might cause an accident. You know, so but they in last time they had all star contractor was a year ago. You know, so I just pray that they come to some kind of common grounds to fix the lights before any activity start going on because due to the lights it's not working properly. Okay, so we just talked about the airlines. I mean, it's so packed. You know, you have it's just overflowing. You know, because you know this the weekend for 4th of July in Essence. You know, so many people coming down here to go to the Essence. You know, so I advise anyone who traveling. You know, some of them say they stood in line for like 7 hours. You know, so you feel like you can drive. If it ain't past 6 hours that you could drive, I refer you to drive. But if you have a appointment for like 2 o'clock, try to leave about 3 hours early. You know, book your flight 3 hours early. If your appointment for 2 o'clock, you know, try to book it 3 hours early because they're saying they're standing out there for like 7 hours. You know, so you refer to drive 7 hours or wait 7 hours or either book your flight 3 or 4 hours ahead of time. You know, that's what y'all might have to do because a lot of them was going to apartments and they're saying it was delayed and canceled. You know, and sometimes when you're going to an apartment, it may not be, you might not be able to schedule. So I advise anyone that the airlines is very overpacked. You know, it's so overwhelmed. You know, so you'll want to book your flight 3 or 4 hours ahead of time, or either drive, or you know, either wait 7 hours. You know, so you have to pick your choice if you want to drive or just wait 7 hours. Or either book your flight 3 or 4 hours ahead of time. You know, that's the only option I can give you on that because so many people was complaining that they had appointment to go to. You know, they had somewhere to go, and the airline is just so overpacked. You know, they had to cancel some of them. Some of them was delayed. You know, all kind of stuff is going on at the airport. You know, so that's all the show news I have for you on today, and I see y'all on the next video.